Welcome to the machine learning case study. In this video, we're going to be going over the paper titled Machine Learning Method for Predicting Cadmium Concentrations in Rice Near an Active Copper Smelter Based on Chemical Mass Balance by Me et al. Cadmium pollution in soil is harmful to plants and humans due to the element's toxicity, persistence, accumulation, non-biodegradable nature, and biomagnification ability. The goals of this particular study were to 1. Determine the characteristics of different input and output pathways and annual net flux of cadmium in agricultural soils using chemical mass balance. 2. To develop machine learning methods to analyze the relationship among different potential cadmium sources and rice grain cadmium concentrations. And 3. Evaluate the accuracy of the machine learning models in predicting cadmium concentration in rice grains. Chemical mass balance is a systematic approach that assesses pollution sources and sinks. It aids in understanding each source's contributions to the accumulation of cadmium contamination in agricultural soil, and results can be used to inform machine learning models that predict cadmium accumulation in rice and develop pollution prevention and environmental management plans. The study area was an agricultural area impacted by 40 years of copper smelter activity in this region, and it consisted of 3 main sites. A highly polluted site with a concentration of 8.8 milligrams cadmium per kilogram of soil, a moderately polluted site with 0.69 milligrams cadmium per kilogram of soil, and a background site with a concentration of 0.22 milligrams cadmium per kilogram of soil. In the mass balance-based inventory portion of this study, experimental plots cultivating rice and Sedum plumbiscensicola, which is a cadmium hyperaccumulator, were established at each site. Data collected from each plot was as follows: data from pesticides and fertilizers, atmospheric deposition, irrigation water, surface runoff, leaching water, and harvested plant biomass. A multiple regression model was then constructed. This models the relationship between the dependent variable and one or more independent variables. A multiple nonlinear functional equation was chosen based on correlational analysis and scatter fitting. It was used to model the relationship between cadmium concentrations in sampled rice grains and mass balance factors. What they found by using this model was that cadmium concentration in rice grains is uncorrelated with cadmium concentration in the soil and cadmium fluxes of pesticides, fertilizers, and leaching water. The cadmium concentrations in rice grains was positively correlated with cadmium fluxes of surface runoff, irrigation water, and atmospheric deposition. A genetic algorithm backpropagation neural network was then constructed. This model uses backpropagation to minimize the difference between predicted outputs and actual outputs by adjusting the network's weights and biases. It trains and improves the neural network over time and is most commonly used in optimization problems. The input layer included data on cadmium fluxes of atmospheric deposition, pesticides and fertilizers, irrigation water, surface runoff, and leaching water. The output layer was data that was predicted cadmium concentration in rice grains. This visual shows you that the predicted regression values of the GABP model closely match the actual data as opposed to the other models that were tested within this study. These evaluation metrics show that the GABP model had an R-squared value very close to 1 and low RMSE and MAE values, meaning that this model is a good fit for the data. The GABP neural network was found to be the optimal model tested that examines the nonlinear relationship between rice grain cadmium concentration and mass balance factors. This model was found to predict rice grain cadmium concentration with high accuracy and can contribute to the development of measures to reduce cadmium transfer from the soil into the food chain. If you're curious to learn more, you can check out the paper at this full citation. Thank you for watching.